भगवते वासुदेवाय। वैकानसा बालकिल्या औदुम्बराः पेनपावने न्यासे कुटीचकः पूर्वं बह्वो दोहंस निष्क्रियौ।
Hare Krishna. The four divisions of retired life are the Vaikanasas, Valakilyas, Odambaras, and the Fenapas. The four divisions of the renounced order of life are the Kutichakas, Bahvodas, Hamsas, and Nishkriyas. All these were manifested from Brahma.
अन्वीक्षिकी त्रयीवार्ता दण्डनीतिः तथैव च एवं व्याहृतयश्चासन् प्रणवो ह्यस्य दह्रतः।
The science of logical argument, the Vedic goals of life, and also law and order, moral codes, and the celebrated hymns Bhuhu, Bhuva, and Swaha all became manifested from the mouths of Brahma, and the Pranava Omkara was manifested from his heart.
तस्योऽस्निगासि लोमभ्यो गायत्री च त्वचो विभोः दृष्टुप् मां सस्नुतो अनुष्टु जगतस्नतः प्रजापतेः।
Thereafter, the art of literary expression Pushnik was generated from the hairs on the body of the Almighty Prajapati. The principal Vedic hymn Gayatri was generated from the skin, Trishtup from the flesh, Anushtup from the veins, and Jagati from the bones of the Lord of the living entities.
मज्जायाः पङ्क्तिरुत्पन्ना बृहती प्राणतो अभवत्।
Oh yeah. 400. Yeah.
मज्जायाः पङ्क्तिरुत्पन्ना बृहती प्राणतो अभवत्।
The art of writing verse, Pankti, became manifested from the bone marrow, and that of Brihati, another type of verse, was generated from the life breath of the Lord of the living entities.
स्पर्शस्तस्य भवज्जीवः स्वरो देहावुदाहृतम् ऊष्माणमिन्द्रियाणि आहुः अन्तस्था बलमात्मनः स्वराः सप्तविहारेण भवन्ति स्म प्रजापतेः।
Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabet, his body as the vowels, his senses as the sibilant alphabet, his strength as the intermediate alphabet, and his sensual activities as the 7 notes of music.
शब्दब्रह्मात्मनस्तस्य व्यक्ताव्यक्तात्मनः परः ब्रह्मावभाति विततो नानाशक्ति उपबृंहितः।
Brahma is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the source of transcendental sound and is therefore above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Brahma is the complete form of the absolute truth and is invested with multifarious energies.
ततो अपरम् उपादाय ससर्गाय मनो दधे।
Thereafter, Brahma accepted another body in which sex life was not forbidden, and thus he engaged himself in the matter of further creation.
ऋषीणां भूरिवीर्याणाम् अपि सर्गम् अविश्रुतं ज्ञात्वा तद् हृदये भूयः चिन्तयामास कौरव।
O son of the Kurus, when Brahma saw that in spite of the presence of sages of great potency, there was no sufficient increase in population, he seriously began to consider how the population could be increased.
अहो अद्भुतमेतन्मे व्यापृतस्यापि नित्यदा न हेदन्ते प्रजानूनं दैवमत्र विघातकम्।
Brahma thought to himself, alas, it is wonderful that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. There is no other cause for this misfortune but destiny.
एवं युक्तकृतस्तस्य दैवं चावेक्ष्यतः तदा कस्य रूपम् अभुद्वेद यत्कायम् अभिचक्षते.
While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing, While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power, two other forms were generated from his body. They are still celebrated as the body of Brahma.
ताभ्यां रूपविभागाभ्यां मिथुनं समपद्यत.
The two newly separated bodies united together in a sexual relationship.
यस्तु तत्र पुमांसो भून् मनुः स्वायम्भुवः स्वराट् स्त्रियासीत् शतरूपाख्या महिषी अस्य महात्मनः.
Out of them, the one who had the male form became known as the Manu, named Swayambhuva, and the woman became known as Shatarupa, the queen of the great soul Manu.
Hare Krishna. What are we reading till?
57, I think.
We
Okay.
completed 54, Mataji. We are
Okay.
going to recite 55 now.
Up to 57?
I think
Yes.
so, yes.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
तदा मिथुनधर्मेण प्रजाहेदां बभूविरे.
Thereafter, by sex indulgence, they gradually increased generations of population, one after another.
स चापि शतरूपायं पञ्चपत्यानि अजीजनन् प्रियव्रतोत्तनपाधौ तिस्रः कन्याश भारतम् आकूतिः देवहूतिश्च प्रसूतिरिति सत्तम.
O son of Bharata, in due course of time, he, Manu, begot in Shatrupa 5 children, 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, and 3 daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti.
आकूतिं रुचये प्रादात् कर्दमायतु मध्यमां दक्षया तत्प्रसूतिं च यत आपूरितं जगत्.
The father Manu handed over his first daughter, Akuti, to the sage Ruchi, the middle daughter, Devahuti, to sage Kardama, and the youngest, Prasuti, to Daksha. From them,
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for reciting the verses in English and also in Sanskrit. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for again having me today. Can someone do the Mangalacharan prayers today, please? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Please, Mataji, thank you so much. I'm just
Thank
trying to
you.
sort this network out for me.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, I'm Sri Chikeshwari Devidasi. Let's put our hands together and let's say our prayers. But before that, may I say, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganala Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you. You okay now, Mataji, to join?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Sorry, I'm today a little bit delayed. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for actually reciting the Mangalacharan prayers. So let's start this session today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jai Shri Krishna. Today we are at the end of this chapter, beautiful chapter. So much to learn from here. But so we're doing the last 5 verses. So maybe we should just, as usual, we start a chapter with the devotees reciting the Sanskrit and the English. If somebody is volunteering, they can do all in one stretch, Mataji. And then let's see how we can go. It's a little bit dry, but we'll try a level best.
I can have a go if you like, Mataji.
Please, Mataji, please go ahead. Do both the Sanskrit and the English, Mataji.
All of it, did you say?
All of it, yeah.
What? The verse?
There's hardly anything, Mataji.
Oh, it's not much, yeah. Okay.
51
do
to
I have to
50.
say, do invocation?
You can do. It'll be nice if you do it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. Oh, do you repeat after me?
No, Mataji, just do it 3 times.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Evam yukta kritastasya daivam cha vikshatastada kasya rupam abhad dvedha yadkayam abhichakshate. And translation? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While he was thus observed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power, 2 other forms were generated from his body. Thus, they are still celebrated at the body of Brahma. Purport as well?
Yes, Mataji.
2 bodies came out from the body of Brahma. One had mustache and the other had swollen breasts. No one can explain the source of these manifestations, and therefore, until today, they are known as Kayam, or the body of Brahma. with no indication of their relationship as his son or daughter. Is that it? Is more?
Please read the next one, Mataji. Just read,
Okay.
or somebody else can read if you find it difficult.
No.
Please read
Tabyam
it, ma'am.
rupa bhagabhyam mitunam samapadyata. Translation. The two newly separated bodies united together in a sexual relationship. Yastu tatra pumanso bhun manu swayambhuva avarat swarat mano swayambhuva swarat Sri yastik chatarupakshya mahishyasya mahatmanaha. Out of them, the one who had the male form became known as the Manu named Swayambhuva, and the woman became known as Satarupa, the queen Shatra, isn't it? Shatarupa, the queen of the great soul Manu. Tada mituna dharmena prajayadam bhavaviri. Thereafter, by sex indulgence, they gradually increase generation of population, one after the other. Carry on.
Yes, Mataji.
Sa chapi satat rupayam panchapatyani niyajit jata janat priya vratato tanna padau tishra kanyascha bharata akutir divahutischa prasutir iti sattama. Translation. O son of Bharata, in due course of time, Manu begot in Satarupa 5 children, 2 sons, Priyavata and Uttanapada, and 3 daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prashuti. Akutim ruchaye padat kardamaya tu madhyamam dakshaya dat prasatim cha yata aparitam jagat. The father Manu handed over his first daughter Akuti to the sage Ruchi, the middle daughter Devahuti to the sage Kardama, and the youngest Prasuti to Daksha. From them all the world filled with population. But not the purport, yeah?
All the purport also, Mataji, please.
The history of the creation of the population of the universe is given herewith. Brahma is the original living creature in the universe. From, I lost it. Is it still there? Okay, I can see it now. View bigger. So the history of the creation of the population is given, of the population of the universe is given herein. Herewith, Brahma is the original living creature in the universe, from whom were generated the Manu Swayambhuva and the wife Satarupa. From Manu, 2 sons and 3 daughters were born, and from them all the population in different planets has sprung up until now. Therefore, Brahma is known as the grandfather of everything and everyone. Sorry, the grandfather of everyone, and the personality of Godhead, being the father of Brahma, is known as the great grandfather of all living beings. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 11:39 as follows. Viduryamo
Rayur.
Vayur
Agnes.
Yamo Agnir Varuna Susankaha Prajapati Sevam Prapitamahascha Namo Namaste Istu Shuhasra Kritvaha Punascha Vuyopi Namo Namaste. You are the Lord of Air, the Supreme Justice Yama, the fire, and the Lord of Rains. You are moon, the moon, and you are the great grandfather. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. The end of the Bhagavad.
Thus ends
Thus end the Bhagavad Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Creation of the Kumaras and Others. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sorry,
Krishna. Thank you
Mataji.
so much,
It's very
Mataji.
small writing. Sorry, I was struggling a little.
All right, don't worry. I think the print might be a bit small for you, so
Yeah, I'm on the phone, that's why. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, everyone. So this chapter, we are coming to this end of this chapter. So we were struggling how Brahmaji was trying to create the universe, fill it up with living beings, and obviously how he's tried to ask the Kumaras, and then Kumaras didn't want to go through this, and then obviously he went through in this whole chapter, obviously how Rudra was born, and then how Brahma gets annihilated because he had a daughter called Vak, and then he got attracted towards her, and then a new Brahma is formed, and then after that, this whole thing starts off. And now we can see over here also in this chapter how Brahma will try to create Manu and Shatarupa. So Shatarupa and Manu have come from Brahma's own creation. But over here in the chapter, when we see, they say that how they are not, the last, where did it go? 52. 50, wait, 1 second. So it says over here in the purport of the 52nd verse, it says that no one can explain the source of the manifestation, and therefore until today they are known as Kayam, or the body of Brahma, with no indication of the relationship with his son or daughter. So I mean, it's a bit difficult for us to challenge that or do anything because we do not know. So we think this is the first human beings for us. For this present materialistic bodies, Shatarupa and Manu are the main, from them, the generation of all of these living entities were created, the jivas were created. And then again, once they're created, then they get, obviously, they evolve into a sexual relationship, and then the biologically, how children are formed. They will have 2 sons and 3 daughters, and from then their generation starts off. So over here they try to say that Shatarupa, the female power, is the soul of Manu. In a way, every time you see, usually you always see like the female parts are usually the soul of the male. They always try to represent the same way. Everywhere you go, they see male and female. The female is the soul of. They never say the man is the soul of the female. It's the other way around all the time. And always the man is always pictured as very large, and the female as always a small person over there. So like the soul in a body. Over here, then in this. I mean, these 5 verses are very, very simple verses, and it's very simple to understand that how these 5 children were born and who they were handed over to and who they got married to and their progeny. It all starts off with that. So if you go to the Swayambhavu Manu, when he married Shatarupa, obviously there's 5 children. So Priyamvrata, he gets married to Barhishmati, and then Uttanapada, the second son, he gets married to who? Suniti and Suruchi. Yeah, Suniti and Suruchi. And then Suniti gives, from Suniti comes Dhruva and Suruchi Uttama. So you can know from where there. And then from Akuti, the daughters, now we have Akuti gets married to Ruchi, and Prastuti gets married to Daksha. So Daksha is again the one with, he gets married to 15 daughters of, Daksha has 15 daughters, 16 daughters, of his Sati is one daughter. And then Devahuti gets married to Kardama. So when we look at this generation, it looks like as though, so what they're trying to relate over here is Dhruva, see, again, and Sati, they could be cousins, like, similar type. So everybody's related to everyone here, actually, when you look at it. But I have also tried to see, there was another, one more family tree I was trying to go through. Obviously, it is so difficult to see how the family trees were. I mean, there's a big lineup over there, which is a bit tricky for me to tell. We should have a slideshow or something to show. But in which how from Aditi and you have Kadru, Aditi, Pradha, Kapila, Vishwa, Muni, Vinata, or Diti, Danu, all of them. From them come how the generation is formed and how it ends up at how Lava and Kusha at one end, and the other end we have again how from one of the Manus, Ila, and Purarava, and then Aya, Nahush, and from there Yadu, and from one of that family tree, how Krishna and Sri Krishna and Aniruddha and Pradyumna come, and then how the Pandavas come from the Puru dynasty. So they're all linked in so many ways, somewhere or the other. When you look, everybody is interlinked with everyone of here, because the main source is over there. We have Shatarupa and Manu as the main source. So it is a bit tricky to say like, in some way or the other, all of us are related. That's what I want to say over here. But coming to this chapter, in this chapter, we see that how Brahmaji tried to create this after creating all the whole universe and different beings, how he created the Manus. That is what this chapter tells about mostly. And then what he gives his Manu hands over his first daughter Akuti to sage Ruchi, the middle daughter to Devahuti and sage Kardama, and the youngest to Daksha. From them, the whole world is filled up with population. So there's not much to say in this chapter today, actually. But when we look back into how Brahma struggled in the beginning to get, but then he persisted on, because this was the lesson to take away from here is that Lord Brahma was given the job to create the universe from Sri Narayana. And how Brahmaji, even though he didn't have anything, he didn't have any understanding of what was happening, he had to first of all go through the penance to even understand what the Lord has told him. To even to have that understanding, he had to go through so many thousands of years of meditation. And after having this meditation, then he could understand when the knowledge was given to Lord Brahma. And from then again, to create everything, I mean, all the knowledge was to understand that he has to, obviously it has to be the Krishna's mercy. But what I'm trying to get over here is his persistence, as somebody has given me a job to do and I have to do it. He failed so many times to do because he asked Kumaras to do, he asked so many of his sons to do, but none of them were willing. But he carried on, carried on, and carried on. So sometimes when we come to a normal materialistic things, sometimes we tend to give up. If somebody tells us to do something, we become so frustrated and we feel like, oh, we can't give. But they say, if you have the right intention and if you want to do things for the right cause, the whole universe will come and help you to get that work done. So you see all these great creators or scientists, or you have like Einstein or anybody. I mean, you have all these people who have got these brilliant ideas some way or the other. They always had that belief that there is a supernatural or a supreme being, but they could not somehow tell it, but they knew that they were trying the level best. They were persistent all throughout their life, and their own cause it because they had a little bit of that eureka moment, and they said, okay, there's something there, and that gives more encouragement and persistence to go on, because they do get the rewards of this new or the thrill of finding something new and it will do good for the universe. And so the main thing is to keep on persisting and to keep on doing things which you think is right for you, right for the whole world. I do not know whether anybody would want to just this chapter is finished anyway, the whole chapter, I think. But if anybody would want to add something, I know they are real devotees of here. Amoga Prabhuji, can you please add something onto this? I think yesterday you were doing on Monday. I don't know, Amoga Prabhuji is not there, I think. Okay, anyway.
Mataji, he is Hare Krishna. He's muted.
Oh, the Prabhuji is not there, yeah?
He is. He's on the list of participants.
He must be busy then, I think. Okay, doesn't matter. We'll just take another. I will just bring out something else and we will talk about this. It's just that it is a little bit dry, this chapter, So if you can see how God creates the universe, we just try to go back again into that. Just give me a minute. Nearly there. So maybe I'm just thinking I'll take out something on Srila Prabhupada, so that's just to I think I wanted to talk on something. Should I just read something because it's so dry? Is it okay if I can just take out something from the magazine and read about Srila Prabhupada? And so it is about one of the I think on May 2025 this was written down. So Srila Prabhupada, he speaks out on purity and freedom. So now this is the conversation between His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and a priest, took place in July 1973 in London. So over here, Srila Prabhupada is saying, is it okay if I go ahead with that, Mataji? Because I think the most of the chapter is nearly done with that. Not much for the. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, please go ahead. That's fine. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you, Mataji. So Srila Prabhupada he says like, in our temples, there are regular Krishna conscious programs so that one may be purified internally and externally. So over here, Smaret Pundari Kaksham Sa Bhaya Bhayantaraha Suchihi. If you constantly remember the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, you automatically become purified, internally and externally, because the Lord is absolute. The best way to remember the Lord is to chant his holy name. The Lord and the Lord's name are identical. Because the Lord is absolute, when we chant Hare Krishna, the name Krishna and the person Krishna are identical. In the material world, the world of duality, the name is not the same as substance. For example, if Srila Prabhupada says very nice examples actually, it is so funny he says it also. If you require water, simply by chanting water, water, you will not quench your thirst. You require the substance water. But, so that's the difference between material world and spiritual world. But in the spiritual world, the Lord and his name are the same thing. If you chant Krishna or any other name of the Lord, that name is identical with the Lord himself. Therefore, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, you're associating with the Lord. And as soon as you associate with the Lord, you become purified because the Lord is all pure. If you associate with fire, you become warm. Similarly, if you constantly associate with the Lord, you'll remain purified. That was such a nice association. So if you're near the fire, you always feel the fire with the heat. The same thing, if you associate constantly with the Lord, then the Lord's name thing is purity. So you become purified. Therefore, our devotees are always chanting, just as I am also chanting, or reading some book about Krishna, or talking about Krishna. In this way, we are always connected with Krishna or God in all our activities. Throughout the whole temple, you'll find my disciples engaged in some sort of work that has connection with Krishna. There is no other work. Nirbandha, Krishna Sambandhe. Anything related to God is also godly. So the priest now, what he says, you see, I don't think the spiritual activities which are external can really in and of themselves change the internal man. Srila Prabhupada says, yes, one changes internally and externally. And you can actually see, my disciples here have changed. The priest says, but a person can go to church every Sunday and say he's pure. Srila Prabhupada again is debating over there. He's saying, no, our program is not like that. Not like that, once every 7 days. We are engaged 24 hours a day in Krishna's service. Suppose you're washing the floor of the temple, it is not only external, because you're also thinking of Krishna. You are in Krishna consciousness. One may be washing the floor, but he is in pure Krishna consciousness. If your full consciousness is only of God, then you will always remain godly. There's no doubt about it. If you make a division, so much for worldly things and so much for God, then you will remain impure. But if you dovetail everything towards the service of the Lord, then everything you do is godly. So the priest will say, would you think it is possible for a devotee to come to hate Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada, maybe I'm imagining how Srila Prabhupada's face would be. Hate Krishna? Priest is saying like, yes, is it possible? Srila Prabhupada says, no, a devotee cannot hate Krishna. Then how could he serve Krishna? So the priest says, he could come to see Krishna as too strong, repressive, taking away his freedom, and so he could come to hate him. Srila Prabhupada says, spiritualism means to sacrifice your freedom for God. That is spiritualism. Priest, then why were we created free? Srila Prabhupada says, you are not free. You're thinking you're free, but you're not. You are under the stringent laws of nature. Of course, you're free to some extent because you have minute freedom. You may serve the Lord or you may not serve him. That is your freedom. If you serve the Lord, you become happy. If you do not serve the Lord, you become unhappy. The priest says, but if I serve the Lord, do I lose that little bit of freedom? Srila Prabhupada says, no, serving the Lord is real freedom. For example, my finger is part and parcel of my body. As long as the finger is healthy, it serves the body. But if it is still full of pain, if it is unhealthy, it cannot serve. Similarly, when a living entity does not serve God, that is his material condition, his unhealthy condition. When he serves God, that is his natural healthy condition because he is part and parcel of God. The priest says, when did we lose contact with God? Srila Prabhupada says, when you misused your minute freedom. For example, suppose a small child wishes to become independent of his father and he leaves home and wanders in the streets. He will soon become sick from improper food, being dirty, and so on. He will not remain healthy. Similarly, we must be dependent on God. In your Christian Bible also you pray, "Oh God, please give us our daily bread." You are recognizing your dependence on God. So it is better to remain dependent on God than to misuse your little independence. To remain dependent on God is our healthy state. So as soon as we declare ourselves independent of God, that is our unhealthy state. So this is our philosophy and your philosophy also. So the priest says, oh yes, I accept that. But within this world, within the limits of time and space, can't you be a healthy person without admitting your dependence on God? Srila Prabhupada says, our definition of being healthy is being God conscious. That is healthy life. Otherwise, do you think that because someone is very strong, that means he is healthy? The priest, well, I would say my body can be healthy. Srila Prabhupada, that is temporary. Everyone is subject to death. You may be very strong and healthy, but you cannot avoid death. The priest says, no. Srila Prabhupada, therefore, ultimately, whether you're so-called healthy or not healthy, you die. That is a fact. So we do not want that kind of healthy life. Our proposition is to go back to home, back to Godhead, and remain with God eternally, enjoying blissful life. That is our healthy life. So this is just one of the things I've taken from the latest magazine from Srila Prabhupada's Back to Godhead. But I was just trying to listen to the other things of Srila Prabhupada. So maybe you can comment on that and see how you'll feel. Anybody can come with comments. And what do you take from that verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, that was so powerful, what our Srila Prabhupada has said. And I think my reflection, Mataji, is it's amazing how when we come into before Krishna consciousness, we think we're free. Like, when I was young, I wanted all that freedom. I wanted to do what I want to do. And I always thought, oh, I'm free. I can do what I want.
Yes.
But never realized until coming into Krishna consciousness that nothing is in our hands. Even the leaves or moves by Krishna's blessings or mercy. And 24 hours, we're actually, by the stringent law of material nature, or whether we get late to work or this happens or that happens, nothing we can control. But it's amazing when you come into Krishna consciousness, you realize that nothing is in your control. Why worry about it? Why stress about it? Surrender to Lord Krishna, leave it to him. He'll look after us. So and second thing, Mataji, is freedom. Is it good? I probably say, I feel now, after coming into Krishna consciousness, having a structure to life, that, I want to do the chanting, I want to do my seva, or I want to listen to chat. I know I'm very full and I don't do much, but I think that structure has actually helped me in my life. So that is my reflection. Haribol, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was so very, very well said, Mataji. Absolutely. So we think we are all free, but we are not free, And how much ever we try, we are. This is what we say. Like I think one lesson with the Sriji Mataji's class, there was one Prabhuji, and that was the first time actually he enlightened. He was saying like, you cannot, you can prepare another car, okay, for the materials you have, but who created the materials? So the raw materials is something. So we are all like Brahma is engineer, but he got all the raw materials from the Lord, you know. And it was really, that thing was so powerful that we are all engineers. We take the thing, but who created the earth from where you can do all your stuff? You can build a house. You can make a brick from the earth. You can make whatever from the chemicals there, everything. But who did the first thing? So when we read the chapter, in the Canto 3, chapter 6 and 5, we see how these elements are formed, how from the Mahatattva, how these elements were formed. Can you see that? It was all because of the Lord, obviously. So the other thing also I wanted to say, like one more thing is why we are humans, how the four faults of humans. So what are they? Can anybody tell? The humans have four faults, which obviously very commonly it is done. So I read one more small thing, but these four things are very, very, very commonly asked, these four things. So I'm going to read another small thing. So first of all, we think that we are human beings. So always we say, we are human beings. We always make errors. Don't we not say that every time in our conversation? Bhagwan thodi hai. We say, are we not God? So we always make errors. So first thing is, we being human beings, we always make mistakes. First thing we should remember. And second thing is, we are always illusioned by Maya all the time, whereas God doesn't. We are, as human beings, we always have this illusion. And the third thing is, we have a tendency to cheat. Vipralipsa, we call it. We have a tendency to cheat. And the fourth one is, obviously, our senses are not perfect. So these are the four qualities which you have. I can read a small thing which says, like, obviously we tend to, Krishna, when we look at him, he is the biggest, when we look at him, there's a song, which one is that, what is that, Chaurashtakam, where the last verse is absolutely wonderful, where obviously he's stolen the hearts of the gopis, and so he's the biggest cheater, so who can cheat him, So in that way, we are, by human beings, we are actually have a propensity to cheat. So Srila Prabhupada calls this propensity to cheat a great disease. So in small or big ways, we let this happen, sometimes to save face, sometimes to boost our ego, and sometimes for some temporary gain. Be careful not to be cheated out of complete spiritual information. So we have to basically, as that, when, I was trying to say, like before, when we do something wrong, obviously we feel very anxious for the first time, but then later it becomes a habit. So we always, that is human tendency to cheat. And always, because we are in this Maya, so we have this illusion. So obviously we are never happy in this. We think we are happy, but we are never happy. And so the moment we know that we're having these four defects in ourselves, then at least we will be able to, say that we can never be always right. Some people will say, I'm always right. So we can never be always right. And we always do some wrongs. And then, at least by that, we can surrender ourselves to the Lord. So human beings, this is four things I just wanted to say, like how we are, we have a tendency to do that. Then the other thing is, so I was wondering today, Mataji, with your permission, very much it is coming in my mind, to do this Namashtaka. You have this in the KK songs. You can just, we don't have to sing, but I feel like we should just maybe read that, Mataji. So it comes as Nikhila Shruti Mauli Ratna. Somebody, I think some Mataji, was it Jay Mataji or somebody sang the song? But if somebody knows that, they can sing, and then we can do a little bit of translation for that. Yes, Mataji, that one only. Yes. And it is such a nice song. I have a nice, beautiful book, by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, Sri Namashtaka. And I can basically read a little bit from there. It is just a small introduction. Is it okay from that book? Can I read and then I can read from here? It is such a very small passage, actually.
Yes, Mataji, that's fine. Is someone going to sing the bhajan?
If somebody, then I know somebody might be able to sing. Otherwise, I'll just say it in the verse.
Okay, that's fine.
Mataji, this is a beautiful book called, I don't know whether my camera is there or not. I can tell you if I can. Can you see that, Mataji? Namashtaka. Yeah. So this is a beautiful book by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, and we have in this book, we have the Sanskrit commentary of Sri Baladeva Vidyabhushana and the Bengali paraphrase of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Thakura. So just a bit of introduction I wanted to say is that we learn from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, the last one, chapter 1, that Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu had once gone to Jagannath Puri to meet Sri Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Rupa then stayed with Srila Haridasa Thakura and was writing a drama on Lord Krishna's pastimes. An important incident took place then with the Lord's associates, beginning with Srila Ramananda Raya acknowledging that Srila Rupa Goswami was empowered by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand the Lord's teachings on some confidential topics, one of them being the spiritual sweetness of the holy name, Nama Madhurya, as experienced by perfect, pure devotees of Lord Krishna. So there are some snippets of here of the significant event from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 1. So one day, while Rupa Goswami was writing his book, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly appeared. As soon as Haridasa Thakura and Rupa Goswami saw the Lord coming, they both stood up and fell down to offer him their respectful obeisances. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them both and then sat down. The Lord inquired, "What kind of book are you writing?" He held up a palm leaf that was a page of the manuscript, and when he saw the fine handwriting, his mind was very pleased. Thus being pleased, the Lord praised the writing by saying, "The handwriting of Rupa Goswami is just like rows of pearls." While reading the manuscript, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a verse on that page, and as soon as he read it, he was overwhelmed by ecstatic love. Tunde Tandavini Rathim Vitanute Tundavali Labdhyate Karana Krodha Kadambini Ghatayate Karanabu Dehya Spriham Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kritim No Jane Janita Kiyadbhir Amritai Krishneti Varna Dvai. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of years. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted this verse, Haridasa Thakura, upon hearing the vibration, became jubilant and began to dance while praising its meaning. One has to learn about the beauty and transcendental position of the holy name of the Lord by hearing the revealed scriptures from the mouths of devotees. Nowhere else can we hear of the sweetness of the Lord's holy name. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Haridasa and Sri Rupa Goswami and left for the seaside to perform his noontime duties. On the next day, after visiting the temple of Jagannatha as usual, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramananda Raya, and Swami Rupa Damodara. They all went together to Sri Rupa Goswami, and on the way, the Lord greatly praised his qualities. When Haridasa Thakura and Rupa Goswami saw that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come with his intimate devotees, they both immediately fell down like logs and offered praise to their lotus feet. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal devotees met Rupa Goswami and Haridasa Thakura. The Lord then sat down in an elevated place with his devotees. Rupa Goswami and Haridasa Thakura sat at the foot of the elevated place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting. Although everyone asked them to sit on the same level as the Lord and his associates, they did not do so. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My dear Rupa, please recite that verse from your drama, which upon being heard makes all people's unhappiness and lamentation go away." When the Lord persisted in asking this again and again, Rupa Goswami recited that verse. So again, the same thing, like, I do not know how much nectar the true syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. When all the devotees of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Ramananda Raya, heard this verse, they were filled with transcendental bliss and were struck with wonder. Everyone admitted that although they had many statements glorifying the holy name of the Lord, they had never heard that such sweet descriptions of those of Rupa Goswami. So he was really evaluated so much. So the drama that Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu was working on at that time was Vidagdha Madhava. His elder brother Srila Sanatana Goswami had been trained by Lord Chaitanya in all aspects of Krishna consciousness and was working on literary projects presenting them in Vrajamandala. After Srila Rupa's stay at Puri, he joined Srila Sanatana in Vraja and wrote many books as Laghu, Bhagavatamrita, establishing the scriptural basis of Lord Chaitanya's teaching on the nature of Radha Krishna, the eternal associates, eternal abode, and eternal pastimes, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, presenting the complete science of Bhakti Yoga. So, after Srila, then additionally, he wrote several prayers to Radha Krishna, and the associates were later compiled and published by his intimate disciple, Srila Jiva Goswami, under the name of Stavamala. It appears that the following logic of Madhurena Samapyat, one should never end a meal with a sweet. So Srila Jiva Goswami placed the Namashtaka 8 verses on the glories of the holy name at the very end of the Stavamala. So it's in the Stavamala, actually, you can get that, this one. So I think it's just because of the this name is such a powerful thing. I think maybe we should just do this 8 verses for today, and maybe then we can end the class today. Mataji, is that okay? Nick,
Yes, Mataji. Somebody going to sing a bhajan, or we're reading the
somebody,
translation?
or I can just read the Nick. I can't know the tone, but it will be so difficult. Maybe we could just read the translation, I think.
Okay, that's fine. And then we'll ask for comments and
Yes,
questions,
Mataji.
and then we can end the class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can read, Mataji.
Okay, translation. Oh Harinama, the tips of the toes of your lotus feet are constantly being worshipped by the glowing radiance emanating from the string of gems known as the Upanishads, the crown jewels of all the Vedas. You are eternally adored by liberated souls such as Narada and Sukadeva. O Harinama, I take complete shelter of you. O Harinama, O name sung by the sages, O transcendental syllables that bring bliss to the people, even if you are spoken only once, and even if you are spoken disrespectfully, you at once remove the many harsh sufferings of everyone. O son of the holy name, even the dim light of your early dawn, Namabhasha, devours the power of the darkness of the material world and gives those who are blind to the truth the insight to follow the path of pure devotion to Krishna. What learned person in this world can possibly fully describe your transcendental glories? O holy name, the Vedas declare that although meditation on impersonal Brahman cannot bring freedom from past karma, your appearance on the tongue of the chanter at once makes all karma disappear. O holy name, I pray that my love for you in your many forms, such as Agadhamana, crusher of the Agasura, Yasodhanandana, son of Yashoda, Nandasunu, son of Nanda, Kamalanayan, lotus-eyed, Gopi Chandra, moon of the gopis, Vrindavanendra, king of Vrindavana, Pranata Karuna, merciful to the surrendered souls, and Krishna may greatly increase. O holy name, you are manifested in two forms. One, the Supreme Person described by the holy name, and two, the sound vibration of the holy name. We know that the second form is even more merciful than the first, because although a person may commit many offenses to your first form, he will still plunge into an ocean of bliss by serving your second with his voice. O perfect and complete holy name of Lord Krishna, you are the embodiment of delightful and intense spiritual bliss. You destroy the many sufferings of those who take shelter of you, and you are a festival of happiness for Gokula. I bow before you again and again. O Krishna Nama, O inspiration of Narad's Veena, you are full of sweetness, which is like an ocean full of waves of nectar. If you wish, please appear constantly on my tongue, along with transcendental affection for the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. I just wanted to bring up this Namashtaka because how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had that effect on and how, because I think he had to just give his green signal, to Srila Rupa Goswami. And then you see who's the Namacharya we have over there is Haridasa Thakur, Srila Haridas Thakur. So the name is so more powerful. Srila Prabhupada says, the name is more powerful than the deity. So Mataji, I think we can ask them for comments, Mataji, please.
Yeah, let's open up the class and let's
Yes,
see if
Mataji.
anybody would like to make any comments or reflections or realizations. Please do go ahead and let's hear about it. Looks
We
like
had
no one is
when we went
participating,
for the Mataji, when we went for this thing, for this on Nottingham thing, Nottingham retreat, they had this beautiful play for Srila Haridas Thakur.
Yes, Rise Retreat, Mata.
Rise Retreat, yes. It was done.
Haridas Thakur play, oh my God, that was so powerful.
It was done very nicely, Mataji. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And with little bit of hardly any practice, they did quite well actually. So
That's
how Srila Haridas Thakur and how he's known as the Namacharya because he chanted the names endlessly. How many lakhs of names of Sri Krishna he was chanting every day? He hardly, I think 1 hour or 2 hours he did not chant, but the rest of nearly 22 hours or something he was continuously chanting, and that basically purified him a lot. And but he was under that because he was a Muslim, and then he was chanting the names, so he was not liked by his Muslim people over there, and he was literally punished so badly in the public, and they started beating him up quite with these ropes and all that, and he dies over that. Then obviously nobody would go and touch him, but I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will hold him and will take him to the sea. It's a nice movie also in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thing, which shows. So, I mean, he's so merciful, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. So that was such a I mean, Srila Haridas Thakur is so powerful. And he was from a different religion, actually. He's the biggest Vaishnava. So, I mean, that you can see like how Krishna consciousness, I must tell that, and it has actually changed many thousands of people's lives. Whether you do it full-heartedly or half-heartedly, once you come into this community, there's always people around to help you, to be there for you, to pour out your heart. And the association keeps them coming on and on. And people like it more actually now than before. I mean, people is so I mean, very common. So people like to come, and the younger generation want to come more and more. So yeah, he used to chant apparently 3 lakhs of names of God, of the God daily, of Krishna daily. So I'm really thankful to Srila Prabhupada for taking all the pain, everything, and for following his spiritual masters so dearly, and taken so deep into his heart, even though he had 2 heart attacks. You know, what do you say? Jaku rakhe saya mar sake na koi, or Krishna rakhe. Who that? Can somebody, some Gujarati person tell? Krishna rakhe. Who is that? Who is the Gujarati over here?
Dandavat pranams. Thank you for a wonderful class. Mare Krishna rakhe ke, rakhe Krishna mare ke.
Mare ke. Absolutely. So Srila Prabhupada was there for a reason. Thank you so much, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada was there for a reason, and for the whole world he was there. So that is why in this 11 years, I mean, such an auspicious number, 11 years, Srila Prabhupada did something which nobody could do in many lifetimes, you know. And so we should really avail them. All of us, please raise our hands and say, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Raise our hands themselves and say, please, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Mataji, is there anybody who wants to say anything? Otherwise, we can just wind up the class, Mataji, today. Somebody can, if anybody wants to comment something, you can say, or we can close the class.
Okay, we can close the class, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
I like to say, considering it was such a bitty paragraph each, I mean, verses, you made such a beautiful message for this class. And you know, it's such a lovely sweet thing. Where did you find these ideas to bring forward to make it more enjoyable and elaborate, and the message that's coming across? You did it so beautifully. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Mataji, it's all because of your association, and thanks a lot for listening. I know sometimes it is so difficult to give, but it is quite nice to have. It is not only Bhagavatam, it's an association also over here.
Yes, good association.
Comes everything. So this is what I take the liberty, if that was okay with all of you. You know, sometimes I feel without permission, I'm just trying to do some things. Please forgive me for that. Hare Krishna.
No, it's good, quick thinking and feeling it so beautifully. So you capture our attention. That's so important.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, should we do the Vanchakalpata prayers? Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes, that's fine if that's okay with everyone. Okay, let's put our hands together. Let's pray very sincerely. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namaha. Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
Mataji,
Prabhupada ki
jai.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can we just
Krishna.
one small prayer to
Thank
have
you.
peace in the world, Mataji, please?
Bye.
Sorry, Naina, Mataji was saying something.
No, I said, Mataji, let's do a small prayer so that to have peace in the world. There's so much of happening.
Yes, Haribol.
Anybody would like to say a prayer, especially the tension between India and Pakistan? It's a
Pakistan.
very volatile situation. Let's just say three
Please say it,
Mahamantras. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Rama Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare.
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 Let there be peace in the world. We should not fight at all. Hare Krishna.
No,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice
Thank you
class.
very much for
Hare
nice class.
Thank you
Krishna.
so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mamta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.